I never thought I'd be the one telling a story like this. You hear about things like this happening to other people, and you think it's just bad luck or some tragic twist of fate that doesn't touch your life. But then it happens to you. My name isn't important. What matters is the story, because if you're married, dating, or even just trusting someone with your heart, what happened to me could save you from devastation. I was married to Vivian for 8 years. Beautiful woman, beautiful name. Everyone said we looked like the perfect couple. From the outside, we had it all. Suburban home, 2 cars, successful careers. She was a marketing executive, and I worked in IT consulting. We were that couple people envied. But behind the smiles and the picture-perfect photos, cracks were forming. And there are always cracks if you know where to look. It began with little things. She'd get phone calls and step outside to take them, saying it was confidential client business. Sometimes she'd work late or head off to last-minute weekend conferences. I trusted her. I believed every word. Maybe I trusted too much. The first real red flag appeared when I noticed she'd changed the passcode on her phone. We'd always shared everything, so I asked about it. She snapped, told me I was being paranoid, insisted that even in marriage people are entitled to privacy. She flipped it on me, made me feel guilty for even asking. That's when I started watching more closely. I noticed how she'd grin at her phone when she thought I wasn't paying attention, how she carried it with her everywhere, even to the shower, claiming she was just listening to podcasts. She began hiding new clothes in the back of her closet, as if she didn't want me to see them. I kept trying to convince myself it was nothing. When you love someone, you want to believe the best, even when the truth is screaming at you. The breaking point came one Tuesday in March. A client meeting got canceled, so I came home early. As I walked in, I heard her upstairs laughing on the phone. But it wasn't her normal laugh. This was softer, more intimate. And then I heard the words that froze me. "Don't worry, baby. It won't be much longer. I've got everything figured out." That night I barely slept. What did she mean? What wasn't going to be much longer? I needed answers, but asking her outright would only push her deeper into whatever she was hiding. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I installed a voice recorder app on her phone while she was in the shower. I knew her new passcode. I'd memorized it from watching her type it in. My stomach churned with guilt, but I had to know the truth. For weeks I got nothing. Just mundane work calls, casual chats with her sister, dentist appointments. I almost deleted the app. Then one Saturday morning she told me she was running errands. Instead, I heard her in the car on the phone with someone named Marcus. She'd never mentioned a Marcus. At first, I thought it was just an affair. Painful, but survivable. But what I uncovered was worse. Far worse. Vivian wasn't just cheating. She was plotting to destroy me. She had been fabricating evidence of domestic abuse, taking photos of bruises she gave herself, rehearsing stories to make me sound controlling and violent. She was slowly siphoning money from our joint account into a hidden one. Marcus wasn't just her lover. He was her divorce lawyer. Together, they had crafted an elaborate scheme to take everything from me, my savings, my home, even my freedom. She wanted me ruined. I'll never forget hearing her laugh when Marcus asked if she felt bad. She said, "He's so stupid. He'll never see it coming. By the time I'm done, he'll be lucky to afford a studio apartment." I saved every recording. 2 days later, Vivian sat me down, eyes full of crocodile tears. She claimed she was unhappy and thought we should separate. If I hadn't known the truth, I might have believed her. She moved out the next week. 2 weeks later, divorce papers arrived. The accusations were brutal. Claims of emotional abuse, financial control, and threatening behavior. She wanted alimony, half of everything, and a restraining order. My lawyer looked grim. He said cases like this often boiled down to he said, she said, and courts usually lean toward the woman. That's when I told him about the recordings. His eyes widened like I'd handed him a weapon. Court came on a humid Thursday in June. Vivian arrived with Marcus, her lover lawyer, looking smug and confident. Vivian played her part perfectly, crying at the right times, painting me as a monster who had trapped her in a toxic marriage. Marcus presented fabricated photos, falsified timelines, bank statements twisted to make me look controlling. The judge was listening closely, taking notes, and my heart sank. She was so convincing that even I began to doubt myself for a moment. Then my lawyer stood. Your Honor, we have evidence that proves the plaintiff's testimony is part of an elaborate fraud. Marcus tried to object, but the judge allowed it. The first recording played Vivian and Marcus discussing secret bank transfers. Dates, amounts, all contradicting her testimony. Marcus's face lost its color. Then came the second recording, Vivian laughing about how stupid I was, bragging that she would strip me of everything. The courtroom went silent. And then, the final blow. The third recording, Vivian detailing how she faked bruises, rehearsed her crying, and researched shelters to make her lies more convincing. You could have heard a pin drop. Marcus stood, muttered something about withdrawing from the case, and walked out without looking back. When court resumed, Vivian sat alone, pale and silent. The judge gave her one chance to revise her testimony. She just stared at her hands. In the end, she got nothing. No alimony, no settlement. The judge was so disgusted she ordered Vivian to pay my legal fees. Marcus was later suspended from practicing law for 6 months. 3 months later, the divorce was finalized. I kept the house, the cars, everything. Vivian disappeared to another state, living with her sister. I haven't seen her since. But the thought that haunts me is simple. If I hadn't uncovered the truth when I did, she would have succeeded. I'd have lost everything, maybe even my freedom. And I wonder, how many others never find the proof? How many people are ruined because they didn't see the trap being laid beneath their feet? I don't share this story for sympathy. I share it as a warning. Sometimes the person you love most, the one you trust with your life, is the very person plotting against you. Listen to your instincts. If something feels wrong, don't ignore it. If my story struck a chord with you, subscribe, share it, and leave your thoughts in the comments. You never know who might need to hear this before it's too late.